I just want to go through this handout real quick. This shows you in a really concise way all of the ways that you can factor these problems. If you have two terms, always, if it has one, first look for factoring greatest common factor. In other words, the same number or the same letter in every single term. The next thing, difference of squares. So a squared minus b squared can be factored as a plus b times a minus b. This one type of factoring is used more than any other one. So this one will be the most valuable for you to learn. Anyways, the hint, two terms, minus in the middle, take the nice square root of both terms. Sum of cubes, so a cubed plus b cubed is a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. Hint, two terms plus in the middle, take nice cube root of both terms. So the difference between difference of squares and sum of cubes is, you'll see something will have a square here, something will have a cube here. And then the difference of cubes, notice these are the exact same formulas. The only difference is, and let me get this color right here. This is a plus, this is a minus. This is minus, this is a plus. Absolutely everything else about these two formulas are the same. Now, sum means done, because the sum of squares, so a squared plus b squared is prime. What does it mean by prime? It means that when you graph it, it will never cross the x-axis. Now, with the sum and difference of cubes, something I always want you to do is set up a equals, b equals, a squared equals, ab equals, and b squared equals. And I will show you how to do these when we get there. Now, three terms. Let me change colors. Three terms. Again, greatest common factor. The next thing is three terms with a leading one. Find the factors of the constant that add or subtract to give the middle term. Factors will add when the constant is positive and subtract when the constant is negative. Three terms with leading one is on the back, and I will show you this in a minute. Three terms with not leading one. There is a video that I would prefer you do instead of doing these steps. So there is a video I am going to show you in just a little while instead of doing this. And it'll have to be, it's the video with the Chinese guy. I won't be able to show it to you on here. You'll have to do it some other way. Actually, I might be able to show it to you in it when we get there. I'll be able to show it to you through YouTube, but not on this document right here. I will show it to you though. But his way is the best way on this. Now, these are used for completing the squares. And I will talk more to you about those. They are a very nice shortcut for a lot of stuff, and I like them. With D and E, take the nice square root of the first and the last terms, and then what you do need to do is check to see if the middle term, or just go ahead and use it, and if it gives you hey, this is the right answer, then don't worry about the rest of it. And you'll understand when we get to that problem, okay? Because there will be a problem that looks like this, and it's really horrible to do it this way. So you'll like this shortcut. I'm just saying. Then 4 terms. Again, GCF is always the first thing you want to check. Factoring by grouping. First, group the first 2 terms, group the last 2 terms. Next, factor the GCF of each group of terms. Third, the set of GCFs is your first set of parentheses. Fourth, the second set of parentheses is the division of the second set. Note, don't drop off your GCF if you've got a GCF when you're typing in your factored form. Now, 3 terms leading 1. There are only 4 combinations that can happen. Only 4. This is the first possibility. Your second possibility. Your third possibility. And your fourth possibility. Notice with the first and second possibility, your constant is positive. The last 2 possibilities, your constant is negative. So, with your constant being positive, the middle is always the same as what you have in the middle. When the constant is positive, the middle sign is always the same. Okay? So if your middle is minus, both signs in your factored form are minus. If the constant is positive and your middle sign is plus, then your factored form is both plus. But notice, if your constant is minus, you have plus minus or minus plus. And it depends on what's in the middle. If the middle is plus, you got plus and then minus. If the middle is minus, you got minus and then plus. And then the last thing I need to show you on this factored handout is perfect square numbers. Notice whether it is plus to start with or minus to start with. Once you square it, your answer is plus. But if it's a perfect cube number, a plus cubed is plus, a minus cubed is minus. Now, your most common perfect square numbers are here. Your most common perfect cube numbers are here. How do you use this? Well, I'm so glad you asked that. If you have the square root of 400, I go to 400 and that number is 20. Notice I had this. But if I have x squared equals 400, that's x squared. Squared, I don't know if it started out plus or minus. So when I go to x equals, I have to have both the plus and the minus 20. And then here, the cube root of negative 27. I go to 27, and that started out as a 3, but it was a negative 27, so this is a negative 3. So if you have any questions, just let me know.